That sounds like some music you could do the funky chicken to, don't it? Hey
Hey,
everybody,
hey,
welcome
get
to
down
TAD
on it.
TV. Welcome to TAD TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with global reach. You watching Out of Bounds with myself, T Rex, Denise, Big Bank at the top. And her Vonda got some hot lipstick on tonight, y'all. Y'all see it? And Vonda, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know she was listening. So tonight, I'm trying to make sure I get to my Facebook. Here we go. So tonight we're going to talk about sorry, not sorry relationships edition. What that really means is we want to know why people listen to other people about a relationship. So with nothing else said to do, you got anything to say to anybody on there that you know is watching us right now? Hello, how you doing? If not, I'm going. Well, there's Laura. Hey, Laura, how you
Hey,
doing?
Laura.
We're gonna get straight. We're gonna get straight to it.
Hey,
tonight.
Marie.
So we had a discussion.
Hey, Marie.
Oh, there you go. Marie's on there too.
Yeah, she said, "Hey, people."
So we're gonna get straight to it now, since we got everybody, people coming on listening. When we was talking about this topic, we came up with an interesting concept. Some comedian slash TV actor slash singer slash whatever else, we'll just say slash Q dog. Wrote a book about think like a man but act like a woman or something like that. How did it go, ladies? Is that how it went?
It's act like a woman, think like a man.
Think like a man. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And see, I just want to, I know Henry got a lot of material on this one. Boy, let the lady. So I'll let the ladies have this one. So my question is to the ladies: when you hear a male talk about relationships, do you take into account of his own relationships? Did he get the experience from this or that? What are y'all taking account for that?
Go ahead, little Miss Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette. I'm not really understanding what you're saying. What are you saying?
I'm saying is when like that gentleman wrote that book, did you think he was speaking for to you as far as helping you understand relationships?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I think he did a lot of things out of the closet that men try to hide, and I think that he just came out with it so we would understand, like he said, how a man thinks. So yeah, I think that a lot of things that he said, is true. It's true. And I've been in relationships where a lot of those things that he said have been a part of the relationship. So yeah, I believe he was helping the sisters out, the women out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I understand you saying. Why you talk about that? I'm a clean house because I'm getting ready for Henry, so I'm a clean house because I know Henry gonna come. Vonda, what do you think on that?
No, I agree wholeheartedly with Denise, and I think that he came with the perspective of how women are treated, and we go through a lot with men, and him being a man knows that. He knows men, and so no, it's not BS. It's not BS.
Get you a drink of water, okay?
Excuse me. Let me get some water.
Yeah, get some water.
He's trying to help us women, and he has daughters, so I'm sure he has those same conversations with his daughters, and he doesn't want his daughter to go through a lot of what women go through, and so that I don't know why men hate on that so much, that he's giving us some insight, and you guys act like he is cracking the code on game. the game code.
Yeah, and they mad at that. They don't want him to say stuff like that. They don't want him to play the game.
And absolutely, what he says is true. It resonates with me.
Yes.
Well, your girl Jacqueline's on listening to y'all.
Hey, Jack.
And Duck is on too.
Who?
All I
Duck
got to say is,
and my sister-in-law. Henry. Okay.
So why? Okay, all right. I'm just gonna be blunt. I can see if in my situation, I'm not the best relationship guy, and I'm not gonna lie, but I don't tell none of my friends how to make their marriage better. I just can confirm what they doing is making their marriage work. So with that being said, how can a person that has 3 failed marriages, not talking about myself, tell you about a man? Henry,
well, he's been through the experiences.
Hold on, Henry, let her finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's been through the experiences of one thing. If he's had the 3 failed marriages, I'm sure some of the stuff he's talking about is some of the stuff he's done. So he's, bringing it to surface.
But right. He's talking about think like a man. And I wonder how can you think like a man and you ain't never been a man? Henry, can you help me with that? They go ahead.
No. What he's essentially saying is, you gotta be in the same mind frame as a man. He's telling you how men think, and so he's telling you to put that particular thinking cap on when you are in a relationship or dealing with a man or having situations or issues. And he's trying to get you to think how a man thinks, like so that you can better navigate what's happening, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right, Henry. Go ahead and take a swig of that.
He's about to bust.
He's about to bust out of his shirt.
It's my time now. It's my time now. Okay. Look, that dude who I'm not going to even give him the honor of saying his name, he just wrote a book to make money. That's it. That's the bottom line. You cannot generalize anything. There's no end all cure for anything. Each relationship is individualized. Okay.
That's true.
And a lot of fault. You women, it's your own fault. And listen to what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you like my daddy used to say, I'm not gonna chew my cabbage twice. That means, if you understand what I'm saying. Y'all out there in a cyber land, y'all may understand what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is your fault. When you're in a relationship with a guy, and I'm gonna drop some old school knowledge on you. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. You got to ask yourself why you keep going to the circus. When you got a fool that's not doing the right thing in a relationship, dude, why you keep going to the circus? You see what he is, then you got to move on. You got to go on. So what that guy said, he put in his book that think like a man, act like a woman. Okay, yeah, you should, but how you gonna think like a man? You're not equipped with a man. You never walked in a man's shoes. You don't understand what a man has, a true man. Understand? Now there's a difference between a man and a boy. A boy wears pants down below his butt. A man wears pants up. You know what I'm saying? A man provides. A boy looks what he can get from you. So know the difference. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we got Terrence on. He said yes to Henry. We got Miss Carol and Carla watching.
Hey.
And we got Doug watching.
Hey, everybody.
So
hey, Tasha.
I just want to, because we talk about this all the time, and I just got a question. When y'all was young, I'm sure you watched your mom and your dad, that relationship. And I'm sure as you matured, your dad pimped you to a little bit of game because he's your daddy. That little bit of game so that they didn't get caught up in that crap that's out there. So with that being said, the best advice you can get is from somebody that you know. And I think the biggest problem is, and ladies, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and ladies out there in cyberland watching this on TAN TV, the African American Network, or on Facebook, or any platform that you're watching it on, type in and tell me why you didn't listen to your mom and daddy. Because your daddy told you. I know I told mine, you know. So I just want to know why y'all don't listen. Y'all gonna listen to a dude that his ain't working, and then he gonna tell you why you ain't making it work. Basically, he's saying you got to think like a man. That's why it ain't working.
This man sees a woman in a comedy club walk in with another group of women, stops his show and says, "I'm gonna make you my wife." Come on now, come on.
And he did make her his wife.
Yeah, he did. After she saw the dollar signs, you know what I'm saying?
That may not necessarily.
That may not necessarily be true.
Do you know her history?
I know a little bit of her history, yes. But people change. That don't mean nothing. People can change, and you know that. People change. So I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm saying that you have to go through some things to realize, you know, especially when you were younger, you did things, you know, and you went back and did the same thing. But you should learn from your mistakes. That's what you should learn from your previous mistakes of what not to do, you know, that on the next time. Sometimes people do learn that, sometimes they don't. But I know that through my relationships that I've been through, I've learned a lot of different things that now I won't do that I did in the past.
Well, you know, that's life. You're supposed to learn.
But some people don't.
Carla said hard-headed. That's what she was saying to my questions. And she said, but not now when we know better and we do better. And Laura said that she had a daddy, a father, not a daddy. So no advice at all. I just want y'all to understand that
advice either.
He might have heard your daddy might not have gave you advice, but he sure gave you a lot of things. You could see what was going on with him right up front, you know. So I think Henry said it last when we was in the discussion. A tiger don't change his stripes. Is that what you was a cheetah don't change his spots or something like that? Whatever you said, and that's really what a man is. That's really what a man is, you know. So I was about to say, Vonda, you watch it?
No, stay.
Okay, what's that supposed to mean?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, sir.
Oh, here we. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, even though I got 3 daughters, I'm still not the perfect husband. I might have been a great dad, you know, that I could give out advice, but I probably one of the best dads that was working that advice. You see what I'm saying? If I'd have took some of the advice I was giving out, maybe I'd have been better. What I'm saying to y'all is if people are going to tell you, you know, and I have to just be honest, with the fellas, we sit around and we laugh and joke and we smoke cigars and have a drink and we chop it up. With ladies, y'all attack. You always looking for that perfect guy. And I tell you, he ain't out there. He passed away how many hundreds of years ago? He was on a cross and then he woke up, then he went back to visit his father. That's the only perfect guy. The rest of us are flawed.
Yeah, that's my husband you were just talking about.
And you know, we're not necessarily looking for the perfect guy because, like you said, no one is perfect. We all have our flaws. We all have our issues, but we're looking for genuineness. We're looking for honesty. We're looking for truthfulness. We're looking for mutual respect, and that doesn't make a person have to be perfect, but you know, that's what we're looking for in a relationship. And I got a question to ask too. Do you think what that Arthur we're talking about, what he says is true? Do you not agree with what he's saying is true?
I don't agree with him. I don't. I don't. And
how not?
And the reason, okay, so if you think like a man, the only thing that you can do is look on relationships that you've been in and categorize those events that you went through, because you don't have the mindset to think like a man. You or the female, the woman, wants to analyze everything. Okay, and right to the conclusion, want to jump to the solution. You see what I'm saying? In most cases, in a relationship, so you want to cuddle and all of that, which is fine, and let males cuddle with you or whatever. But his mindset is totally different. So the only thing you can do is piece together what you've dealt with. You see what I'm saying? Opposed to looking at the person, the individual that you're with then. You know, be open and honest with that person. Don't be afraid to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So because when you start walking around on eggshells, then that relationship becomes damaged. You see what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. I don't agree with him. No.
So hold on, Vaughn. Okay. Let me get a station break in real quick. I'm sorry. Thanks for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we get local feel with global reach. I don't want to keep Vonda waiting no more. So go ahead, Vonda.
No, that's fine. I think the producer has something in the
she
chat.
said, I think you're supposed to be the reader, not me, because she said last time.
Oh, okay.
So you read
I don't see it now.
It says, okay, somebody else read it.
It says, what's the difference from Steve Harvey versus the men on the panel teaching their daughters?
I tell you, very simple, very simple. My daughter says, Dad, I want to meet somebody just like you. You know what I'm saying? You take care of the family. You are a provider. I want somebody just like you. I said, no, babe. No. You want somebody way better than me.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Only thing I'm trying to do is give you the blueprint of the guide to where that you can make decisions for yourself to be strong, be a strong Black woman, be the queen that you are. Don't depend on nobody for nothing. Make your way. That's what I tell my daughter. And I tell my son the exact same thing.
But y'all have not answered Vonda's question.
Let me read these out real quick before y'all get going. Let me read these out. So the producer said she's sorry him. She disagreed with you. Terrence said,
she's a woman.
I have to thank successful men for evolving. I never knew my dad. I can't blame a man I never knew. Laura says, someone who wants to be in a relationship and wants to take care of, wants to take to be one of a woman too. I didn't get that part. Then Vonda Morrison said, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Here she said, not all the times are people knowing better, because when my husband was in his 20s, I'm just paraphrasing as I go, and a hoe, and now he was a hoe in his 20s, and now he's in his 50s, and he's still a hoe with arthritis. Laugh out loud. Makes no sense to me. Then hold on. But right after that, Carolyn said, yes, but my husband is perfect, flawless for me. Thank Jesus. Now,
Terry, one second, Terry. For the viewer out there in cyberspace that said, I'm sorry, Henry, I disagree with you. It's the same thing. Absolutely, it is not the same thing, because this man is putting in a strategic plan that you should use. Okay, if this happens, you should do this. You cannot do that in a relationship. You absolutely cannot. Every relationship is individualized. You look at that the content of the character of that person. That's what you look at.
Just like Carolyn just said in her text, she said her husband is perfect for her, and I think that's the best advice anybody can get.
But I think what Steve Hart was just he's speaking generally, not a fit for
every situation.
Right. He's just speaking in general how men are and what they do, and I think that's all he's trying to say. So,
and what he says is what men do. Some of the things that he say is what men do. It is what men do.
That is true.
And he just tries to give the woman an outlook on how to, if she's faced with that situation, maybe how to, go through that situation. I don't think he's just trying to say that every situation is the same. I don't think he's saying that.
And I don't think he's just giving general tips.
But Curly just said that she agreed with Henry.
Right.
Your girl. Y'all girl. Not my girl. She's a nice lady, but she's y'all girl. She's y'all kicker. When y'all home girl. All I got to say about the whole thing is this. Thinking like a man is not going to be how a relationship, because no sex intended, but if a man wanted to hang out with his bestie, one of his boys that think like him, he want to hang out with one of his boys. He don't want to marry one of his boys. And I'm not saying sexually. I'm just giving you he don't want you to be one of his boys. And I think the biggest problem, ladies, I know y'all going to tear me up. Henry, help me out here, is that y'all believe there's a perfect relationship out there. Because listen to me. I watched my granddaughter today. I got a bunch of them, but the one that's here today at the house. And she loves to play house. She loves to teach. She does an amazing job. I watched her very carefully because I knew we was going to talk about that. And I'm thinking, what is my son-in-law going to tell my granddaughter when his time comes? She going to be out there dating boys and all that crap. So I kind of thought in my mind, and I said to myself, I hope she listens to her mama and her grandma. Because if you listen to a man 9 times out of 10, when y'all having your powwows, you women, y'all having them group sessions on men. Y'all not, from my understanding, you're not looking for success. You're looking to bash. And that's not good. Go ahead, Vonda. I'm sorry.
And I was trying to get the viewer comment in before I lose it. One of the viewers said that they don't feel that the men, you guys, are answering the question on the hate on the book. And, and another was, don't focus on thinking like a man, but as an advice book, or a book advising women, like parenting, So
so we're not hating. I'm just gonna say his name. I'm not hating on Steve. I mean, he had a good product and he made money off of it, and that's great. That's great. But what I'm saying is, Laura said that's insulting. But what I'm saying is that I just believe that for me as a man, I think if he was going to give some advice, I don't even think marriage counselors have the right answers, because there wouldn't be so much divorce if they did. Only if he was giving me advice, I would take it with a grain of salt and probably move on. And it's nothing against Steve Harvey in his book. Never read it. The fellas had our discussion about it one day, and we was just like, whatever. I don't think he put women on game. I think women got more game than men. Y'all be juggling. Y'all juggle without getting caught. We can't juggle 2 without getting caught. Y'all be juggling 3s and 4s without getting caught. So that's that. And the producer said, what's the difference on you giving advice or your granddaughter's father's giving advice? It's the process that you see. I think most people learn from what they see. And if you really think about it, if you knew something, I'll take my best friend from junior high all the way to high school to the day. He's one of the owners of the show, Vance. Vance mom and dad, God, I've never even seen them argue. And they still together today. And me and Vance is in our 60s. So I've been knowing Vance since I was 12. Do the math. I've been knowing Vance over 57 years. Maybe more than that. I can't do the math real quick. That's how long I've been knowing Vance. So if I wanted some relationship information, that's who I would see, go out to see. We talk about it all the time among fellas. If you want, one guy told me the best way to make a marriage work is to just keep your mouth shut. And I thought, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You can't do that. But check this out too, Terry, not to cut you off, my brother. For that person in the social media realm said that we didn't answer the question about the book, you got to realize too, person, that book is a romantic comedy. That book is a romantic comedy that's put out there to sell. You know what I'm saying? And to get people to laugh, to start discussions, and so forth. So you could say some of the things could apply to some people, but to generalize it like that, that's the part that I have to do that I totally disagree with. I think I'm not going to say that person is a opportunist, but and will feed on any avenue that can make him money. And he has stated that. Those words have come out of his mouth himself. So that's just where I am. I ain't mad at the brother. I ain't mad at it.
Hold on. Let me read this one, Vonda. Hold on. You gonna read the producer said, Vonda?
I was reading another one.
Okay, so the producer said that real quick. Then I'm gonna get to what Vonda. This Vonda went to high school with, so she knows Vance too. So hold on a second. So the producer wants to know is, you're still making a difference. Why aren't you just, other viewers said this. We assume you both haven't read the book. And I said to the viewer, as Henry said, no, I didn't read the book. I didn't read the book not because I thought it was garbage. I didn't read the book because it wasn't interesting to me. I know one thing about, well, hold on, let me still read and we'll keep going. So Vonda said, no, T, just the man that respects me, loves me unconditionally, and be for me, be my all, and not every woman all in all. And I agree. But I said this last time we talked about this mess. If women knew that man was married or in a relationship and said no, it wouldn't happen. Go ahead, y'all.
No, and Tasha said we should never have the mentality like the mentality of a man, but the thoughts or feelings like a man. But yet we as women can always educate ourselves on how to not be taken advantage of. And I think that's what Steve is trying to help us do.
How?
Taking advantage of.
How?
The producer wanted me to answer a question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Denise.
What's the difference between Vance's parents versus Steve?
That's what the Bruce. I can tell you one thing. And I wish Vance was. I wish he had this talk when Vance was on last. He was producing the show last week. I've never seen them argue. Never. They always on the same page, and they always work. Now I'm going to say this, and this doesn't mean anything negative at all. In that marriage, I truly believe they worked for the common goal of the family. Both understood their position in the marriage, their role in the marriage, and they continued. And like I said, so they was married way before they were married at least 12 to 14 years before I met them. So you add that on to that's like 65 years of marriage.
That goes back to my parents, Terry. I never saw my parents argue either. I never saw my mama be or my dad be disrespectful to my mom. Or if they did, we never saw it. My family never saw it. Me and my brother never saw it, and my sister. And my parents before my parents died. My mother and daddy were married 62 years, and I never saw that from my parents either. So
All I can tell y'all is this. Go ahead, Henry.
Go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna say this too, and what I really think the underlying intent in that book that that young man wrote was to get women to try to understand how a man thinks. That's what I think. The underlying story was to try to get him to think. You'll sit here on Saturday or so, and your date or your boyfriend, your husband or whatever is watching a football game. How many of you come in and may not know nothing about football. You may score a touchdown and you jump up and say home run. You know, how many of you come in and sit down and say, hey, I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna watch the game with you. You know,
I've done that.
Yeah,
I do that now.
Explain the game.
Hold on.
Explain the game to me. You know.
Vera said that, Henry, are you married?
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they want to know. Here, are you married?
If so, how long?
What she say?
If you married,
how long? Are you married? If so, how long?
Yes, I am married, and for 36 years. How you doing?
What's up, Fernando? I see you on there watching me, bro. How you doing? All I can say to people is this, man. The relationships are hard. It's hard. And I think every relationship makes you a little bit and also a little bit bitter. I think that if my advice that I would give a woman right now, I say it here today on this show, marry a friend, because you already know all his flaws. You already know all his flaws. You know if he gonna be as I quote, a hoe, or he gonna be a good man, because you already know him. You know? And I know a good guy right now. And JP, I hope I don't offend you, but JP's a good man. He's a good man. He's waiting for a good woman. He ain't out there.
Where's he at?
Where is he?
He's in Orlando, Florida right now. He used to be on this show. You remember the Phi Beta Sing we had on this show?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's a real good dude.
Bring him back.
Send him over this way.
All I can say is, is that makes sense to me, Everybody said it about JP. My girl from high school, Vonda, said, I'm right here. Dang it.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Did I get a station break already?
No.
No, I didn't.
No.
Thanks for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with a global reach. You're watching Out of Bounds with T-Rex. Wow. Denise, Vonda, and Big Bank at the top. All we can say, people, is this. We're just gonna say, I'm not saying the author of the book, Steve Harvey, didn't know what he was putting out, because that'd be lying. All I can say is that if you're gonna base something off, and let's skip all that. Relationships are so changed from our grandparents to us, to our children, and to the younger folks. It's just changed. It's too much girls are players to fellas out there doing their thing, I gotta want an area code. That's the hype. And that's what people think that is great. But it ain't great. It ain't great. What did the producer say?
Why shouldn't a woman
think like a man? Well, I tell you, if you think like a man, have a man mindset, you're going to get a bad name from the fellas. I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you the outcome. I mean, let's just be for real. If a woman goes out and she samples sex with 100 men and she's open about her number, she is classified as something totally different than what kind of person she is. If a man goes out and said that he had 100 women or more, he gets patted on the back like he's a player pimp. Same
Pat
thing.
on the back by men.
Hey, that's crazy.
Same thing doesn't mean it's right for a woman not to be able to do like that. So in essence, you can't be a man. So if you can't be a man, how do you do it?
But check, be you. You know what I'm saying? Do you? You can't imitate or whatever. Do you? Whatever is in you, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? And stand there. And if a person don't like you, a person don't love you for you, then holler at them, throw them the deuces and keep going. What I'm saying? That's all you gotta do.
You can't fix it if it's broken.
That's right. You
can't fix it if it's broken.
And for the person out there that want to know if I'm married, why you want to know if I'm married? What's up with that?
I have no idea. It's another viewer who wants to know. So why are we talking advice from your
Taking
show.
advice.
I'm not giving you advice.
From a therapist, doctor, or parent.
I'm not giving you any advice. I'm just telling you what I believe. The advice that I would give you is trust in yourself. God will tell you the right thing to do. And if you make a mistake, don't blame that whole sex for your mistake. Some men are in the same situation with women. You know, wife cheat, girlfriend cheating. It hurts them. So they think what? Every woman's like that. That's not true. Yep. Not every man is like that. I just think that you have to find the right person. That's the only advice I can give you, because if you want some advice how to mess up one, ask me a question. I tell you how to mess one up real. But if you want to tell me how to make it last, then, you know, my marriage lasted 33 years and I still messed it up. So I have nothing to say, Henry, because you speak with dislike toward a woman's research.
Negative. Whoa, negative. Absolutely wrong. I'm pro-black queen. These women are my queens. Absolutely. I respect the black woman. I respect women totally, period. In a relationship, a woman loves harder than a man. That's just my opinion. Okay. But no, absolutely not. I respect the woman, to the utmost. So no, ma'am, to that person, absolutely not. You read me totally wrong. Absolutely.
Mm.
Okay, I got a question for you. Why do women discuss their intimacy relationships with other women and sometimes take their advice? I really want to know that.
Can you be, when you say intimacy, are you speaking about
just the relationship
or sexual relationship? Okay.
Just the relationship. No, just the relationship. I just want to know, because when I know y'all have powwows, I've seen them. I've excused myself from a few. I know y'all have powwows when y'all sit there and y'all talk about men. And I think sometimes the only advice I give, the only advice I could give anybody out there is, the producer took me off my game, is don't take your baggage. Leave your Louis at home. Don't be like Deion Sanders and take your Louis with you. Leave your luggage at home. And when you need something from it, pull it out. But don't take it with you and expect every man's going to be like the last man, or if he's going to be better than the next man. You just have to deal with what you got.
So the question that let me recall the question. You asked, why do we women talk to our other female friends about the intimacy in our relationship? Not sexual.
Right.
I mean, that's what friends are for. I mean, you're not going to tell every friend, but you do have maybe a special friend that you talk to. Everybody needs somebody to talk to, and you can't tell me you men don't do that.
Well, and that person may have went through something that can give their input to you on, in the situation.
Well, I'm just going to say this.
Perspectives.
Can I read what your girlfriend said? Because your girlfriend is cutting up over here. Carolyn said some women know how some men are, but they choose to read the book and consider to gossip about it. Then your other friend, Jacqueline, said, she's been married for 29 years, and yes, marriage is work, but it's not that. I think that a man, I think like a man, but respect goes both ways. Hold on, she said something else. Respect goes both ways. And it's the ultimate deal breaker for me. So respect is the deal breaker for Jacqueline. So my question to y'all is, when you're out there and y'all having those conversations, are you putting it productively, or are you just bashing men?
I'm looking to get something out of it. I mean, I'm looking to listen and see what they have to say about it. I'm not to bash a man. I'm asking for advice.
Okay, now watch this. Henry, how many times you sat down with your boys and had somebody came up with a marital problem and y'all talked about it?
I could probably count them on one hand the time that has actually occurred.
And say we do it all the time.
You do it all the time.
Well, that's because there's differences, but there's a difference between a man and a woman. We're go ahead.
Are you slamming paper down, getting angry?
No, the angry black woman syndrome. Don't do it. Don't do it, Henry.
Oh, let's not bring that up.
Don't go to that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
But no, Terry, to do that, I have talked to my brother before, and my brother has talked to me. But outside of that, no, sir. I have an inner circle, and you got to be special to get in my inner circle. I don't let anybody in my inner circle. So,
exactly.
Because once you let a person in your inner circle, man, they can do all kind of harm to you. I know them very well to get into my inner circle. You got to be special to get into my inner circle.
And that brings up a question. Do you ever think that the man, that the woman you're talking to ain't trying to sneak behind your back and get your man while y'all having these conversations? Because it's always better to look inside that window, to be inside that house.
Well, one thing is, I think we've said this before. I mean, I'm just speaking from our group of people, my group of girlfriends.
Okay, because Carol and them are talking about it. Go ahead.
We don't do that. I could tell my girlfriend something about my man friend or my boyfriend or whatever. I'm not worried about her going back and getting with him or nothing, because that's something we don't do.
Okay. So you have.
So I'm not worried about that.
Terry, one of the viewers said men are from Venus and women are from Mars or something. I have no idea what that person's talking about. I'm from Memphis.
It's the book.
I'm from Memphis.
The book.
I'm from Memphis.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
I just think
we see, and that's back to the book. That's the hard part of this for me to swallow is when he says think like a man, because you can't think like a man. I mean, I made a comment, and I'm not going to say it like I said when we was in the thing, but I can say that if you are, can I say it? The man in a female relationship, you still are not a man. You still a woman. You might be wearing a man's pants in that situation, but you still a woman. You still get hurt. You still cry. You do all those things. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the facts. So you cannot think like a man. What you can do, if he would have said, understand your man, I would agree 100%. Because even though me and Henry are here, we've been friends for a long time, fraternity brothers for a long time, we still have different opinions on relationships and how they should work.
Oh, yeah.
We can disagree without being disagreeable. Absolutely.
There you go. But I'm not going to ask Henry to think like a woman.
No,
I would never ask him to think like a woman. Not because he's bigger than me, but just because.
Why? Because we wouldn't get nothing done.
We'd be sitting there arguing among us.
That's where you need to stop.
Just there he go again. Male bashing, female bashing.
There you go.
He's just saying that because he know we get the job done.
You do. Absolutely.
We do.
Now, your girl currently said, my girls know I'm in love with my husband, but I never mention my personals or private things. They know he's my king, see more. And then it says, and I'm his queen. Another viewer wants to know, viewer said men are clueless. You know what's so funny? I agree with you. I agree with that. When y'all want so much from a man. I mean, I saw this documentary the other day, and it was talking about how men go to work and they do. I'm back. I froze again. Henry, take over because I.
No, you're not froze.
You're not froze.
Henry, take over.
Okay. I got you, my brother. I got you.
And so the guy was sitting there, and he was like, I want, I need you to do this for me, and I'll do what that's for you. They have roles. I kind of lost my train of thought because I was froze. But it was the topic was they wasn't trying to be somebody different. They were just trying to be themselves, and being themselves than the other person understood. I think the biggest problem in relationships, if people can understand what I'm about to say, is men want to have sex, a woman want to have a relationship. That doesn't mean it always ends up without a relationship, but that's how it starts. Y'all are attracted to somebody who can get the job done, take care of his family. It's like the caveman days. The biggest, stronger caveman got the woman. That's why, because he had all abilities of being and all that. And she had all abilities to learn how to cook and take care of her family. Those are the traits that you have to look for in your man. Now, I don't know if you find a guy like that or not. I can tell you right now, they're hard to come by, especially under 55. Even some over 55 are still acting a little bit outside themselves. Laura said she just wants to be loved. She just wants to be loved. I agree with that love stuff. Mm-hmm. But life is hard. Life is hard. We had a discussion one week. The question is, you meet the perfect man, but he's a foot shorter than you. What do you do? What does the book say about that? If you meet a man that's perfect for you, but he's a foot shorter than you, what do you do?
If you love that man, you need to love that. If you love that person, you need to love the person for what they are. Yeah. If he's a foot shorter than me, then well be it. If that's somebody I love, because you never know who you're going to fall in love with, really.
Right.
So if he's a foot shorter than me, that's okay. If that's who I love, if that's the feelings I have for him.
But Terry, that may not be what I prefer. But
right.
Terry, my sister is probably 5'9", 5'10", and her husband is probably 4'8", 5'8" or something like that. He's shorter than she is. And so she says, I don't date short guys. You're shorter than I am. So the next day he come to the house, got on some Miami Stompers. You know what I'm saying? So and dude, they've been married for over 40 some years right now. But you gotta do what's in you. Look at your heart. Observe the heart. Man. But Terry, you said something earlier too, and I can't remember because I am old. But I wonder how many, or what is the percentage, and I would love to look it up to see how many women go to college just to find a man. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Who spends money just to find a man? Oh, man.
Who said that?
No.
Well, hold on. Carla says she's 5'7", her husband's 5'6". Love wins. So when y'all having y'all discussions in school, we go into our college days. When y'all was back in school, you had your discussion about this and that. You wasn't trying to find a man that might be successful when he gets out of college.
Come
on, ladies, chime in on that one. I want to hear what y'all got to say about that one. You wasn't looking for that man in high school and college. You thought that was going to be successful.
Not necessarily looking for them for that particular reason, but if you happen to like Carolyn and Thad, they wound up together, and some of our other friends wound up with whoever they met in college. But that I don't think they were necessarily just looking for a man while you're in college. Who spends money? Who gets school loans? Use their
look for a man.
Try to look for a man.
And Vonda didn't marry anyone from college. Vonda didn't marry a college guy.
I married a soldier.
She didn't marry a college guy.
Terry, let me see what the book Think Like a Man says. It says bullshit.
You can BS how you want to.
Like the views.
I don't know what
still haven't told.
That may be the type of women you guys know, but I like Vonda said, that's not what I was doing.
No.
Oh boy.
No.
But see, that's what we perceive. I mean, I was slim, bow-legged, got my little fresh shirt on. I thought I had it going on. It took me a while to get to where I'm at. But the point I'm trying to say is every guy has that same opportunity to mature and to get where he needs to be in life.
Right. But if I was looking at you, if I was looking at you in college and like you said, you was bow-legged and you was a Kappa and all that, and you was nice and you're still nice looking. I'm not saying that. You were nice looking stuff, but I wasn't looking to you for your career. I mean, I was looking at you because you look good. I mean,
yeah, that's and I appreciate that because I didn't have no career. I had we all had back them days. We was waiting on them.
None of y'all had
that student loan money to come in.
Exactly.
All I can say is I'm trying to read it. The ladies are having it up. Vonda said that Carolyn's, she was right, and Carolyn said definitely not looking. We were kids, so when we were in school, we were just trying to have a good time and do our lesson. Yeah, right. But now honestly, with that, did you have a girlfriend that was looking for a man that was going to be a doctor?
I can't think.
Why you think about that? Let me catch up with something. Thanks for tuning in.
I can't think of one, but
Network, local field, global reach. Go ahead,
Miss Laura said I had a very attractive man who was attractive until he opened his mouth.
Oh.
That's what Miss Laura said now.
I agree with you, Miss Laura.
So he must have said something really stupid, But I'm going to tell you right now, and ladies understand this, no matter how smart a man is, he's not smarter than a woman. And I don't mean that as educational wise. I mean, he can't outthink you because you're already 5-10 steps ahead of him.
That's right.
The whole thing, Emmanuel Cole, what's up, man? How you doing? The only thing I'm trying to get everybody to understand is that you might be 10 steps ahead of us, but we're trying to go a whole different direction. If you know what, I was watching Codan and the Barbarian. Grace Jones said, when you find a man, you hit him on his head and you take him. And that made a lot of sense to me. You might not have to hit him on the head, but you take him. You treat him good. You do him right, and you don't change from when you were dating to when you get married. I think that's
and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with being, and I think this tied into our thing when we discussed it. It's nothing wrong with being submissive,
Yeah.
But you can't be overly, you got to be at a point where there's things that you're gonna do and things you're not gonna do. But it's nothing wrong with being submissive to your man if that's something that you want to do, because that kind of helps a relationship a little bit,
As long as he's leading in the right way.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm just saying. Yeah.
As long as he's leading in the right way, you're not gonna follow a fool. You know what I'm
saying?
Right,
but that's what I said. As long as it's it's right, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Hey, Henry Manuel said we having an instant conversation, Nuke.
and I don't think any woman who is looking to have a wholesome relationship, I don't think that any woman would be opposed to following their man, especially if they are leading the family in the right way, and if they're and biblically speaking, if they're following Christ, who wouldn't follow a man like that? I know I would, and I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
well, both of your friends said being submissive is not a bad thing. Call her submissive, as Carolyn said, and Jacqueline said, I definitely wasn't looking for a husband, but she found the right one, and that's cool. That's cool. She didn't say the right one, but I know she found the right one. All I'm saying is that when we grow, we change. Very few people marry their high school sweetheart. Very few people marry their college sweetheart, because we grow. We grow. My Vonda from high school, she said that my brother's been married to his high school. They've been together since 7th grade, and he is 2 years younger than me. So they've been together a long ass time, and they had their problems, honestly, but they stuck it out and they together. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Me, I turned tail and ran, and you shouldn't turn tail and ran. You should fix it and make it work. So, because we run out of time, so I'm trying to give a little advice since they think we gonna give advice. My advice to everybody is, if it's worth working at it, continue to work. If the work gets harder, you work harder, and then at some point when you don't see the end of that tunnel, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go, but you gotta put the work in. You just can't put the mouth work into it. And I think most of the times, for me, you know, if you are working your tail off, it's hard to be romantic when you come home, and that's on both sides. That just doesn't mean the man. That's on both sides. So everybody has to have a little bit of advice. Yeah, that's his advice to work that relationship. You have it's not always 50-50. It's going to be 80-20. It depends on who needs the 80. So other person's who's at 20, the other person's got to give 80 to get them up to 100. That's just the only thing I can say. So I'm gonna pass that on to Henry, since you're right there, Henry.
Yes,
how would you tell somebody to make a relationship work?
To make your relationship work is from my point of view, is 4 key factors. 4 key factors. Not bro man from the 5th floor now, but 4 key factors. One is truth, trust, respect, and forgive. That's what you got to do. If you do those 4 things, you trust your mate, you tell the truth, you respect your mate, and when your mate messes up or you messes up, no matter what it is, dude, forgive. You know what I'm saying? Work it out. Be there for them. That's my spiel.
Denise, what would you give out?
Yeah, I agree with Henry. Yeah, just be truthful about the situation. Communicate. That's a big thing too. Communication.
Hey, George.
You gotta have communication. Trust and communication. Be open about your relationship. Don't be trying to hide and sneak and do things like that. Just be truthful about it and be open. Everybody's grown. And then just try to work it out.
Hey, Miss Massey. Hey, Tony. Go ahead. Your turn, Vonda. I'm sorry, I had to highlight her.
No, I'm like you guys, both Henry and Denise. Love a person the way they should be loved. First, you have to love yourself. You can't and you can't pour into anybody else unless you have it within you. So my advice is to be true to yourself, then you have no problem being true to the one you love,
and
keep Christ in your relationship. Keep the Lord.
I'm gonna give you some advice my mama said.
And for the person out there that said that we're giving advice just like Steve Harvey is, that we're giving advice like Steve Harvey. Every one of us said from our perspective. So no.
From our perspective, we didn't say from how it's going to work. Exactly. But my mom said something real interesting, and my mom said this, and I quote my mom. She was talking about a woman. A woman has to do the same thing she did to get that man to keep that man. So whatever that is, and whatever that is, and vice versa, whatever that is, that's the best advice you'll ever get. Rest in peace, Mom. Yes. That's the best advice you ever go get.
That's right.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel with global reach, especially checking us out of bounds. Our crew is really, they really don't want to talk about relationships, but I think that's something that everybody wants to hear. I like to hear when Henry be clowning, but tonight the ladies had Henry in check.
In check.
But I want to say one thing. I want to say thank you. And if your relationship isn't working, I would try counseling. But if you go to counseling and ask that counselor not just what kind of degree he has, what kind of experience he has. And Curlin said, see y'all, my peeps. He says, great advice, ladies. Love you. And we out of here. Producer, take us away. Deuces.
Peace. Deuces.